place is a madhouse out there. Got Derek and the boys painting their boat. We put in some seats for them there. Mike's putting in some new headlights here. We had the high beam here was blown out, and we figured what better time than now to put in some improved headlights. So show us what we got. We got some LED guys there.
LEDs.
What are they? 6,500 lumens or something ridiculous?
Yeah, those other ones.
They're really bright. So we're gonna put those in, or Mike's gonna put those in, and we just got the old screws soaking and penetrating the well right now because they've probably never been out and they're rusty as heck, and we don't want to break them or strip them. Those are covered. That just comes out with some screws, like it's on your way, and then you can take the chromies off. There's three Phillips screws, and then put new headlights in there. I plug right in, same plug, so nothing to it. Oh yeah, one more thing, folks. While I have your undivided attention, I did a guest spot over at my buddy Rob's channel. It's Darth Tigger. I'll put a link somewheres. Go on over, check it out. It's a reaction thing. We're doing Army stuff. We're both veterans. I served for 22 years in the infantry. He served for around 10-ish, up or down, somewheres in that neighborhood. Anyways, go check it out. Give him the old standard, you know, like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And hey, I'll be watching. As you can see, we got a whole line of cars here with all needing some fixes. You can see the old one-eyed bandit here. Mike got his new LEDs put in. I told him, I says, why don't you fix the headlights while you're doing that? But he didn't bother. He just put the headlights in. That one, I gotta find vacuum leaks because that's what's going on there. The rat rod just needs its spring check up. I fired it up, drove it out of here yesterday, drove it back in. That's the first time it's been started all winter. So it's just got to come in for a fluid check, make sure everything's topped up and still good. And there's a few little things. I got to put the back window in it and stuff, but I don't know if I'm doing that today. And well, the Jeep, we're waiting on exhaust to show up. Everything's delayed as always. It should have been 2-day delivery, and I'm sitting here now at almost 2 weeks, and I still haven't got the exhaust. So yeah, anyway, that's what we're doing today. Got one other thing while I'm doing here, while I'm just getting warmed up. I'm tired of my my argon tank and my welding cart banging around back there because it's just kind of these sloppy chains that hold it in. So I 3D printed off some little brackets here. We're gonna screw them in the back, and that'll help keep the tank from moving. And then it stands it off a little bit. Right now the tank presses up on the back of the welder, and I can't reach the power switch without having to move things. So that's kind of annoying. We're gonna put these on. Again, it took me about 4 hours to print these off on the 3D printer, but that should do the job. I just drilled out the first hole here, a 1/4 inch. Got a bolt stuffed in there. Now, I kind of screwed up. I don't have enough room to put a socket in there. So hopefully these won't spin. Hey, I'm not an AutoCAD expert. If it gets too complicated, I'm kind of screwed. Self-taught, man. Self-taught 3D printing. God. Now, I don't know if I need 2 of these, but I printed off 2. Go. Got our holes drilled. Oh, yeah, that'll work perfect. Look at that. There we go. Way better. Time well wasted. Yeah, you can see there's a tear right in this little boot. That's causing all our problems, why the headlights won't go up and down. Okay, well, we see what the problem is now. It's leaking on the main arm, which is the most common spot for them to leak. So I already have the kit here to fix it. So we got to pull this pot out. Okay, so there's a pretty good view. First thing we got to deal with is these 2 springs here. They need to come off so that we can knock this pin out. This pin is held in with a cotter pin over here. So you take the springs off, just lay them aside. remove the cotter pin, and that pin should come out. This is probably going to be seized in here pretty good because, well, 40 some years. Anyway, once that's done, you got these 4 bolts right here to get out. This vacuum line comes off, and the other one up top that feeds the top canister. That's really all there is to it. Obviously, as you can see, I'm not going to be able to have the camera in here doing this because there's just no room. Well, we'll get all that done and I'll pull it out and show you what we're looking at. Alright, so I don't know if you can see through that. I kind of try to line you up. These springs got to come off first. And they're not so bad that you need some killer puller or anything like that. Hold the headlight up. Just reach up and grab them. And they'll pull right off. No tools required. I like side cutters for pulling cotter pins. Not cutting them, but I'm just pulling them. The little guy should be able to pull this guy out to the right. Alright. Pull the clamp off. Give it a spin to break it loose. And this pulls right off. Okay, so there's all 4 nuts off. And you can see it's just a 18-inch extension and a swivel. Gets right in there. Okay, so to get the pod out now, all you do is push it back with the hood closed. And there's plenty of room until you get to here. Alright, just took the bolt out, push the canister up. Now we can get it out. And now we can get this line real easy instead of fighting with it up top. Twist to break them loose. There we go. There's a canister. Alright, so we got our smoke machine turned back on here. We can just put this in the end. This should go pretty quick. We should see if there's any smoke coming out. Okay, so the backside's holding pressure. No problem there at all. We're just getting smoke everywhere. You can see here it's just coming out like crazy around the boot. So I think we've seen enough. We know what we need to do now. So to get this sucker apart is not that big a deal. And you can actually buy the entire replacement pots. They're not that expensive. But if there's nothing wrong with it, then just fix it, right? Okay, so first thing we need to do is take this end off. And this was already this loose. I didn't even have to spray it. I figured there should be a lock nut, but there wasn't on either of them. Okay, there's a little nylon bushing in here, which if it's gone, probably a good idea to replace it while you got it out. Then you got this rubber protector here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's chunks of rubber coming off. That's never a good thing when you got a piece of rubber that big coming right out of it. So you can see that's the entire top piece is gone. The seal here is ripped in half. And that's the one that leaks. That's why all of our headlight problems are right there. Okay. In here there's a diaphragm, so you got the back half and the front half, and depending on which way you apply vacuum, whether it opens or closes your headlights. The back one is sealing good, so we know the diaphragm is fine. We just need to replace this seal here. To do that, this steel little cap's got to come off. And all you got to do is get in there with a small screwdriver and pry these little tabs. It should come right off. Just like that. And you see there's these little tabs in there. And you just pop them off. Nothing to it. With that, this whole rubber piece needs to come out. Of course, it's been in there for 45 years, so it doesn't want to come out. There you go. Okay, so you can see how that works. Just like this. Okay, that little part there just clips onto the base. This piece is ripped in half. So our seal was in 3 pieces. So yeah, you weren't going to get much sealing action going on there. So all this inner seal was torn in 3 pieces, and that's where all our headlight issues were coming from. So I got this repair kit off of Amazon for like $30. Comes with all the pieces that typically leak. And it's a complete set, so you can do both sides. And there's our beast that we got to replace. And you can see just a little bit of a difference. Okay, other than that, it looks pretty much the same. Okay, so this comes with a replacement outer seal as well. Our outer seal is actually in good shape. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but in person you can. There was one spot where the smoke was shooting out in a steady stream. It's actually by design. There is a small hole right there, and that whole purpose of that is so that you can see the smoke come out, so you know what's leaking, which is that inner seal. The aftermarket ones, curiously, don't have that. Right, so that guy's just gonna go on there like that. Just being kind of gentle on these, in the threaded part here. All right. Once you get it down, you just got to get that lip back in, and a small straight screwdriver works pretty good for that. Pop it down. Don't push too hard or anything with a sharp object, because if you put a hole in that, you'll be putting another one in. Okay, so that's what you're looking for right there. Now that we got that, let's try a smoke machine again. Alright, see if we get any smoke now. It's actually working again. It wouldn't push it down before. And of course, at that kind of pressure, it's going to smoke a bit because it's just the nature of the beast, but there you go. No smoke. Alright, so we got our new ring. You can see the tabs are not bent over yet. So you just put her on like that and bend your tabs in. And they go in pretty easy. Now we can put our little rubber hoo-ha back on here. And that just, again, that's like a dust cover. It doesn't actually hold vacuum or anything like that. And that just slides on like so. Put our end on. There we go. Let's put that back on. I'd really love to give you a better view of all this, but it's just not gonna happen, guys. There's just no room for my head and in your camera. One back in line, that's the top one. So the one that you get from behind the headlight, kind of in the hood area. You don't need to wrestle with it there because you can do it right here before you spin it up and install it. Oh, get the hood open. Oh, I gotta close the hood. Darn it. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Alright, now with that out of the way, again, having a lift makes it so much easier. Get your head and everything in here all at once. I don't know what I'd do with myself. Come on, cooperate now. There we go. Well, I don't know why that was so hard. Okay, putting the pin back in. Got it all cleaned up on the wire wheel, a little light coat of grease. So, we'll drop your washer like that. The washer goes on first. And we got our little nylon slides we got to reinstall. And they just pop in from the outside, nothing fancy. New cotter pin, nothing to that. Alright, now we just got to hook our springs back up. Pulling them down by hand now is not as easy as it was before. I got a little hook tool I got here that grabs onto these springies real good. Same thing, hold the headlight up. Boing, there's one. Number two fell out. Alright, springy dingies are on. Alright, all together. Nothing left to do but test it. That goes fast. the first time we've ever run that to work like that. Oh, not looking on that side. So for the first time, the right one's working better than the left. Okay, nothing left to do now but clean up all that dirt and grease from fingers that the kids did when they put the headlights in. And I helped a little bit, I guess. But anyway, that's how you can fix your C3 vacuum actuators for your headlights by yourself in half an hour. It's not really a big job. You don't need to pull out the entire headlight assembly to do this job. It's totally manageable with just pulling out 4 bolts, a couple of hoses, and a cotter pin. Anyway, hopefully if you got a similar problem with the old one-eyed bandits here, this helps you out, gives you another idea on how to fix it before you dig in and cause yourself more work. Catch us on the next one.